In this crazy, nonstop world we live in, it's so easy to think that peace is something you have to find out there somewhere, like in another person, or a vacation, or just later. But what if peace isn't something you find? What if it's something you reclaim from right inside yourself? Okay, let's get into it.
So let me ask you something, straight up. With all the notifications, the deadlines, the opinions flying at you 24/7, where do you actually find your quiet place? Really think about it. It's not as easy to answer as it sounds, right? And that question, it takes us right to our first big idea.
Part of the reason that's such a tough question to answer is that most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it, but we're actively giving our peace away. We just hand it over to all the noise and demands of the world.
I mean, just think about how real this is. We give our peace away to relationships that drain us, to schedules that are so jammed we can't even hear ourselves think. We definitely give it away to that endless doom scroll on our phones, and of course, to worrying about what everyone else thinks. For so many of us, that's just Tuesday.
And this is so, so important. We have to completely flip the script on how we think about peace. It's not some fluffy, nice-to-have luxury. It is a flat-out necessity. It's the foundation for everything else in your life.
Okay, so if we're giving it away, how do we get it back? Well, the answer, believe it or not, lies in solitude. But first, we've got to redefine what being alone really means. Okay, we need to get one thing straight right off the bat. Isolation and solitude are not the same thing. They're worlds apart. Isolation is that painful feeling of being cut off. It's unwanted. But solitude, that's something you choose. It's about intentionally and nourishingly spending time with yourself. So let's think about solitude in a new way. It isn't about emptiness or just a lack of sound. It's about creating space. It's giving yourself the room to just breathe, the space to actually think your own thoughts, and to remember who you are when the rest of the world isn't shouting at you. And when you actually make that space for yourself, look at what you're inviting in. You get to unplug from all that external noise. You can finally tune back into your own natural rhythm instead of the world's frantic one. It's a chance to reflect without beating yourself up, and maybe most importantly, to heal without being interrupted. So once you start finding that space in solitude, it kind of naturally flows into this next big step, building self-reliance. And this isn't about pushing people away. It's about building yourself up from the inside so you're solid on your own 2 feet. Now hold on, because when I say self-reliance, I know what you might be thinking. This does not mean you have to be a lone wolf who never needs anyone. Not at all. It just means learning to trust yourself, learning to trust your gut, your heart, your own inner wisdom. So, okay, how do we actually do this? It really boils down to 4 things. Number 1, you start really listening to your own needs, not what everyone else tells you you need. 2, you meet yourself with compassion. Talk to yourself like you would a good friend. 3, you start intentionally creating a life that actually soothes you, not one that stresses you out. And 4, and this is a big one, you stop waiting for someone else to come along and save you. You realize you have the power to save yourself. And here's the magic. When you start doing this, like really doing it consistently, everything starts to change. The transformation is huge, and it touches every single part of your life. You know the first thing that happens? You feel free. You stop looking outside of yourself for that pat on the back, that you're doing okay, because you're starting to give it to yourself. And with that freedom comes this incredible power. Your decisions suddenly start to line up with what you actually want, not what you think you're supposed to want to make other people happy. And how does that feel on the inside? Oh, you'll know. It's this deep sense of calm, a clarity you haven't felt in a while. You just feel more grounded, more you. That constant frantic buzz starts to fade away. And this is where it gets really interesting. It's kind of this beautiful paradox. The more whole and happy you become on your own, the better your relationships get. You start attracting people who are drawn to your wholeness, not your neediness. And then comes the biggest shift of all. That idea that being alone is scary or sad, it just dissolves. And you start to see that time for what it really is. It's not scary, it's sacred. So when you pull it all together, this whole journey we've been talking about, it's really all about one simple, powerful act, taking back what was always yours in the first place.
It all boils down to this fundamental truth. Your peace is not this fragile thing that depends on other people. It's something you build, piece by piece, every single time you decide to show up for yourself. And we have to just tear down some of these old, tired ideas, right? Liking your own company doesn't make you fragile, and setting boundaries to protect your energy doesn't make you cold. It makes you wise.
And please, hear this. Choosing your own path, even if it means walking by yourself for a bit, does not mean you're lost. In fact, a lot of the time, that's exactly how you find your way.
So in the end, never forget what this is all about. This isn't just about feeling a little less stressed out. It's a revolution. You are reclaiming your stillness from the chaos. You're reclaiming your clarity from the confusion. You're reclaiming your power. And you are reclaiming your peace.